global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, good people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we are so excited to have you again. Anambra State residents have started crying out over the latest avenue that Professor Charles Soludo has introduced to generate revenue for the state. Don't forget that when he came on board, he said he has so many things to do for the state, at least to change the narrative of the state in all aspects. But the latest is the issue of outrageous taxes. We are going to give you full details of this in a jiffy. Well, I would like you to wait by to listen to the analysis because I'm here with my colleague. We're going to be talking about the effect of all of these and other issues. But before we do all of these, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, according to the news, the residents of Anambra State have complained of notification they have received from the state government urging them to pay outrageous taxes. They said it was too early for the state governor, Professor Soludo, to introduce a tax regime that would further worsen the yoke in the prevailing economic circumstances. Soludo was sworn in as the 6th executive governor of the state on March 17. A media practitioner based in Lagos, Fred Chukwuelobe, said he received such tax notification with utmost surprise, stating that had no business in Anambra State to warrant him being taxed. The message sent to him by the state government reads, "Dear Fred, you are in default of remitting 175,112 and 2 kobo as your personal income tax for 2021 to Anambra State government. Pay now to avoid further penalties." Reacting, Chukwuelobe said that both platform has been demanding personal income tax from me for the Anambra State government. See the latest warning I got from the platform. I don't know what it means and how they came about the humongous sum as personal income tax for poor me. I live in Lagos and I'm not in default in my payee. Why is Anambra State demanding another tax from me when I don't live in the state nor make a living there? Please, who knows about this? Is it real? Another person here says, another resident who gave his name simply as Jude said he received a similar message asking him to pay his tax or face sanctions. Jude notification read thus, "Dear Jude, you are in default of remitting 175,103.97 naira as personal income tax for 2021 to Anambra State government. Pay now to avoid further penalties." Another resident showed our correspondent his notification thus saying, "Dear Vincent, you are in default of remitting 175,078 naira 58 kobo as personal income tax for 2021 to Anambra State government. Pay now to avoid further penalties." Vincent added that, "Can you people imagine these takes I receive? Am I a contractor? My payee is deducted as source, or is it the implementation of the new policy that journalists must pay taxes?" Reacting, a resident said, "E don say though, Soludo has come, no escape for anybody." A resident who condemned the development said they are even sending the demand notice to pensioners who have retired from public service, hence showing the ridiculous nature of their action. They should know that personal income tax is governed by law and it's not what you just wake up and start demanding from people. You don't know their tax status and level of income. Some people are not liable to pay personal income tax, and there are those whose income is not taxable due to its poor stroke low level. Reacting to the development, the Deputy Director Stroke Head Taxpayer Education and Enlightenment Team of Anambra's Internal Revenue Service, Sylvia Tochukwu Ngigi, acknowledged that the notification emanated from the government. She urged those who receive such tax notification not to ignore it to avoid grave consequences. According to her, she said those who got such messages should come to the Anambra Internal Revenue Service in Oka for clarification in their own interest. To ignore such a message may be catastrophic in future. The Anambra State Internal Revenue Service had in the commencement of Soludo government said it would begin aggressive enforcement of payment of outstanding tax bill in the state from April 1st. Richard Madiebo, the new chairman of Anambra Internal Revenue Service, said the enforcement would include social bills, signages, and waste management. It was gathered that the state government had an outstanding bill of 513.6 billion payable by no fewer than 2.1 million taxpayers in the state. The amount was captured in the database under the Anambra Social Service Identity Number. A source in the agency said we have generated a total collectible bill of 513.9 billion naira as at January 2022 against 2.1 million taxpayers in the state. This means that if we can ensure payment of this bill by indebted individuals and they begin to make payment, the government will have a lot of money. The source urged Anambra residents to check the ANSSID portal for their status and proceed with relevant action of filing and payment. The source added that the enforcement team from AIRS will be enforcing payment of tax and levies, including business premises permit, waste management, signages, and fire service compliance. My God, this is a serious one. And my colleague is here, and she's going to we're going to talk about this because I don't understand. What do you think is happening in Anambra State? Is this Soludo's handwork?
Well, I think it is. I think it's Soludo's. I think it's to the Soludo's handwork indeed, because he did say at the beginning that he's going to turn this whole taxation to digital space where the hoodlums, according to him, will not have access to it. But honestly, the way he's going about it, I just hope that he will not have rebellion in his hands. Why I'm saying this is that there's some Anambra indigenes that are not resident in Anambra that are being forced to pay the tax. Some of them are already in Lagos. They have no business in Anambra, though they're Anambra indigenes. Maybe what they did was probably to collect that data of all Anambra indigenes wherever they are residing, as much as they're in Nigeria, and start paying them, and start giving them personal tax. As you have paid payee. That's like double taxation.
Okay.
And if this should fly, Nigerians would start feeling real bite. If the federal government sees that it works
in Anambra State,
forget it, Nigeria is in trouble. That's one. Two, I also feel that going about this way, it will not spell to all go well. He's using his experience as a former CBN governor, having access to phone numbers and all that, and saying to avoid this, to avoid that, you should come over. And I'm wondering, what would be the sanction? Are they going to put it as loan on individuals if they don't pay? I think going forward, Soludo should find a way around this. This will not spell well for even indigenes of Anambra.
Okay, now one of the things that baffle me about this issue of taxation is how did they come by those amounts? Because when you're talking about personal income tax, number one, you must have full assessment of the person's source of income, how much is earning on a monthly basis. Now, what is even personal income tax? Personal income tax is a type of income tax that is levied on an individual's wages, salaries, and other types of income, which therefore means you must first of all have an idea of how much the person is generating before you start leveling. It's not something you sit by and you just suggest. You can go on tax hunt, you are going to seek people to pay their taxes. You see people on the road, you accost them and say, have you paid your tax? Let's see your tax receipt and everything. But for you to give us your tax identification number.
Okay.
Let us go through it. By the time they go through it and notice there's no payment, they will now ask you, what's your income like, and all of that. There will be penalties for the years you have not paid, you understand? And you understand? So for you to just wake up and come up with this, when number one, some of these people are already paying tax in their salary salaries, which is
Yes,
directly deducted
from
pay,
on source,
exactly,
from
pay
source.
as you earn, you understand? And some of them have been doing contract, and some of them do contract directly with the government, and they pay their taxes. So
Direct.
what is this one that you're coming up and assuming tax? You don't assume tax,
You know the funny part is they're even putting it on pensioners.
Do you understand? So it's an assumption. You
My
understand?
God.
It's just an assumption. He doesn't really know exactly how much. Or what I feel is that is a bit to drag people to come for
Clearance.
regulation. Yeah,
Yes. Then
come
when
and
you now come,
complaints,
when
and
you
then
now
now say,
come, they
okay,
will
so
now say,
what do
okay,
you do
what
in
do
a
yes, they will
living?
not get it.
Even if we cannot get
Yes.
the full amount from you, but we will from there we will know the kind of business that you do, and we'll be
then
calling for your profit
and
and
loss.
income statement.
Okay,
That's
that's
profit
true.
and loss account. We call for your income statement, and from there we know how much you have been getting on a monthly basis, and we'll now start charging you on the basis of
On
that.
that. Oh my God.
I was checking out someone's statement, and the guy said that it's actually the pressure of the debt that is on him that is making him to do what he's doing. Another person, okay, like when we talked about that the debt accrued to taxpayers in Anambra State is to the tune of 513.9 billion naira. Now, whoever did this may not really know exactly.
It's just assumption.
It's just exactly, it's an
It could even be
assumption.
less, far less.
Far less, you understand? So on the basis of that, possibly he will look at it and begin to. You'll be so shocked that some dead people have received this thing. You understand? Some people who are long dead may have received. If you carry their phones and check, or if you follow up with the people that they have sent this thing, so some people they will go to and say, "Ah, the man don't die, he died since 2000 and
Wow.
2001." And you're like, man, so why did you? So you can't be so sure, but I feel it's a bet to drag them out. Now,
Yeah.
but what do
I
you
can't believe
think?
you.
What do you think they at the end of the day this will impact on Anambra State?
It may not all go well. A lot of businesses may want to relocate outside Anambra State.
Exactly.
So if you're having a tax freedom in other states, why am I staying in Anambra, the same country, and even at the worst case scenario, so this patronage is not as big
Yes.
as to have sit at home on Mondays. And now being heavily taxed, there's insecurity. I will relocate to Lagos, where there's no sit at home and the taxes are a bit more friendly.
Yes.
Maybe I'll just make my retail business in Anambra and move to Lagos. So it's going to drive people out. The best thing to do first is to make the place habitable, make the place comfortable, bring in investors, then start the taxation
gradually.
Not putting the cart before the horse.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I get what you're saying is absolutely right, because right now I think he's not taking one day at a time. The man just want to pour in everything, because already there is so much indebtedness waiting for his government.
There are processes.
So there are processes, exactly.
He still has 4 years.
4 years to handle
Make the
this.
place beautiful
first.
You'll be surprised. People will on their own willingly come to Anambra.
Yes.
Do you understand? But if you're making it this way, people will run out
away.
of Anambra already.
Exactly.
There's already UGM, insecurity, infrastructure is being burned, and now taxation. Everybody will take to their heels.
And you know, Nigerians are not even used to taxation. You understand? So if you want to do it gradually, introduce it till you get what you want. Well, that's where we like to wrap it up. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. What's your position on the new development in Anambra State?